It's time for the Green Wave Coaches Show, broadcasting each week from Prince Street Pizza and Pub in Gallatin, Tennessee. The Green Wave Coaches Show is brought to you by Tennessee Ace Hardware, Gallatin's local hometown hardware store, serving Gallatin and Sumner County for the past 50 years. Stop by and let Jimmy and his staff take care of all your hardware needs. Bank Tennessee, the bank for the Green Wave. Delta Dental of Tennessee. Visit deltadentaltn.com. Double Dogs, Sumner County's favorite sports bar, and the Ingram Law Firm, a local law firm that you can count on. Let our legal family help you and your family in your time of need. Now, let's get to the show and join our host, Blaine Kellar.
Back at Prince Street Pizza and Pub for the Green Wave Coaches Show. Sumner County Sports Editor Blaine Kellar here with Gallatin football coach Michael Stroup. Gallatin has a big non-region game coming up after a bye week, going up against Beach. But first, talk about the bye, talk about the state of the Green Wave, and the game before the break against Mount Juliet. Coach, how was your open week? Sounds like you got a chance to just kind of stay at home.
Yeah, just stayed at home, relaxed, take care of Jack and, kind of take in some movies and just spend time with the family a little bit. You don't get a whole lot of time to do. So,
got any good movie recommendations for us?
I guess we got into the TV series Dexter.
Oh yeah, long series.
Yeah.
How much of that did you get to watch?
I think we got into season 4.
Oh, a little bit of binging on
100%.
fall break. That's nice.
No doubt.
We're brought to you by Tennessee Ace Hardware, Bank Tennessee, Delta Dental, Double Dogs, and the Ingram Law Firm. Again, at Prince Street Pizza and Pub every Tuesday night through Gallatin's football season. Coach, going back to the game before the break, can you give us a little synopsis, a little recap of what you remember from your 18-10 win against Mount Juliet?
Yeah, Mount Juliet is well coached, and defensively they're really good up front on both sides of the ball, and I thought that going into the game. We sputtered offensively and couldn't get things going, but defensively, it's always good to win a game when you can just score 18 points. Yeah. And that's not something that's been done a lot of in my time here at Gallatin. So, my hat's off to the defensive side of the ball and the coaching staff on that side for putting a good game plan together and giving us a chance to win.
Moved to 2-0 with Kayshawn Barksdale in at quarterback, sitting at 5-1, going into fall break. All things considered, I'm sure you're pretty pleased to be where you guys are at, coming out of the break and going into the last stretch of the season.
Yeah, I mean, when everything transpired, a lot of guys, individually came up to me and said, Coach, whatever we need to do to help out, and we need to play both sides of the ball. We're willing to do that. And, a guy that comes to my mind is Ryan Williams, who, before was just serving us on defense, but he has really stepped up and helped us at receiver since KB moved to quarterback, because KB was out there. And Ryan's done a really good job. Matter of fact, he got our player of the week for his efforts defensively and offensively for us. Made some big catches in the passing game, and defensively, got a big pick there in the fourth. Right? Yeah, in the fourth quarter. So, proud of that kid. Proud of he came to us as a sophomore down from Alabama. He used to be at Gallatin before that, but he had moved to Alabama, but made his way back, and really proud of that kid and what he's done for himself and the way he's grown this past year.
So are there a lot of those guys that are volunteering to play both ways or taking on expanded roles since Jackson went down?
Yeah, Ani is now playing both ways. He was just an offensive guy in the beginning, but now he's helping out on defense. Matter of fact, he's a starter on defense now. He got a big pick against Station Camp, and he's really done a really good job for us in the secondary and shown some leadership on that back end for us. Whether it be Andy Brock has played on offense some at tight end. But yeah, man, it's just guys just kind of, you like to see it as a coach, and it's a culture thing too, where they just want to come together and help each other out. So, it's always nice to see that as a coach.
You talked about getting to catch up on some television. Did you get a chance to look over some film across the season throughout the break? And if so, what areas of improvement maybe did you notice that you want to see through this last stretch of the regular year?
Well, I think, offensively, we've got to tighten up in the vertical passing game a little bit and intermediate passing game. But again, that comes with a lot of time and a lot of reps and throwing KB and Riley into the mix. Just getting those guys reps and helping and speeding up the process. I mean, again, it was week 5 when all this transpired, and then, they're just going through a spring practice right now at that position. You try to get guys reps and before that, but I mean, it's high school football, and you're going to get your guys a lot of reps just to get them ready for Friday night. But again, it's reminding the receivers, hey, Jack's not back there. He can make some of these throws, and then he's also the quarterback is also the catalyst of the engine, and he's got to dictate everything from pass protection to the routes, whether it be pre-snap or whatever, and coming in with KB, a lot of that stuff was elementary. We had to kind of keep it bland, and we've worked on some things over the last 2 weeks that have kind of helped out in that regard. But it's just again, just getting reps, getting practice defensively, creating more turnovers, man. Just kind of getting the ball out, getting it on the ground, and whatnot, and just pursuing the football, getting after the football, and just a defensive-minded football team. That's what we've got to get to that point. That's what I've tried to do since I've been here, is win games defensively. I know offense gets a lot of questions and they get a lot of headlines, but man, defense has got to be able to carry the torch for us.
Offensively, when you talk about KB and what he has been able to kind of grasp so far, without unveiling the curtain too much here, how much of your playbook are you able to give to him right away, and then how much of it was adding week by week? How much have you tried to incorporate since he took the reins?
Well, I mean, we're still pretty vanilla, and you got a guy like there with Jack, who again, it's a unique situation because he's my son, and he's always been in a quarterback room, so he's got years of knowledge that most kids don't get, and so he's able to go out on a field and we may have a play call and he may not like it, and he's got range. I gave him the range to say, hey, get us out of it, and he would get us out of maybe a bad call or whatever. With KB, we're not there, and there's a lot of quarterbacks, man. 90% of the quarterbacks in probably high school football are in that seat where they just don't have that ability to do that, and it's not fair to give him that responsibility because he just doesn't know, and it's not his fault, but it's just you're taking a lot of years of knowledge that Jack has, and then KB is he's played the quarterback position, but not as freely as I have allowed other quarterbacks to do it. But he's a competitor. He wants to win, and he wants to do right. Sometimes he's a little bit hard on himself at practice, and I have to remind him, hey, everybody sees this, so you've got to keep your composure and understand. They're going to feed off you, whether it be positive or negative body language. And it may not be outward to anybody. It's just to himself.
Right.
But that can be read the wrong way, So that's the part of the quarterback position as well, is you're leading these guys. And positive body language helps.
Kayshawn 2-0 as a starter since taking over for Jackson. Chance to go to 3-0 against Beach this week. Big task, but I presented this same question to Coach Russell when he came on, with 2 of these last 3 games being out of your league. How did that kind of benefit the transition of things, knowing that you had a chance to kind of tinker with how things looked without taking a region loss?
Well, I mean, it's one of those things where, you know, you don't want to get too far off of it, but you also understand it's not a region coming up. It's a non-region game, but it's an in-county game, one that hadn't been played in a couple of years. And, you know, one of the things when I first got here was, you know, hey, you know, I noticed Beach wasn't on the schedule, and they were at one time, you know, and one of the first things I did, I reached out to Coach Crabtree, and I was like, hey, man, what's the deal here, you know? And we had a great conversation, and we think it's a game that needs to be on the schedule yearly. And, you know, at one time, you know, Gallatin was the bell cow. And there were years to the 70s and 80s and 90s where, you know, it was Gallatin, Beach, Hendersonville. Well, you know, again, not to sound like a broken record, but there have been other things transpired since then. And, you know, it's just not the same. And other schools have benefited from that. And, you know, we're trying as a coaching staff to get this program back to where it once was. And it takes a lot of time. You know, I knew what I signed up for when I got here, and I knew what it was. It was a rebuild, you know, and it was a longevity thing. And there are coaches out there that want to win right away, and that's great. And if you have the pieces to do that, and that's awesome. But it's the culture that you have to put down and clear the path that for the long run. And that's what we're trying to do. And we're not there yet, but we've got a good foot forward.
Yeah. Big litmus test coming up to see where you're at in the process of that. With Beach at Shackle Island Stadium, we will break that game down on the other side of this break. You're watching the Green Wave Coaches Show on Main Street Media Television.
At Delta Dental of Tennessee, we know our success begins and ends with providing superior quality service, and that includes serving those who need it most. This year, we're celebrating 25 years of giving back to the community we call home. Delta Dental, along with our Smile 180 Foundation, supports Tennessee's dental colleges and oral health education, children's hospitals, free and reduced cost dental clinics, and other like-minded charities. Here's to the next 25 plus years of ensuring healthy smiles.
When you're looking for the right attorney, it's important to ask questions that address your needs and concerns. Is your attorney local? A local attorney is often more attuned to the specific issues and challenges you may face. Jay Ingram understands the Gallatin, Sumner County, and Middle Tennessee communities well. He's been practicing law here for 25 years. What are their primary areas of practice? The Ingram Law Firm focuses their practice primarily on the areas of criminal defense, domestic relations, civil litigation, juvenile law, and probate. Do they genuinely care about the community? Jay Ingram, his associate attorneys, and legal staff are not only skilled, but they're also deeply invested in their community. Managing partner Jay Ingram is a graduate of Leadership Sumner and has held leadership roles with the Sumner County Bar Association, Gallatin Green Wave Quarterback Club, the Gallatin Lions Club, and he's a graduate of both Leadership Middle Tennessee and the Tennessee Bar Association's Leadership Law statewide program. Why does all of this matter? Finding an attorney who understands, cares about, and is connected to the local community can make a significant difference in your experience and your outcome. Jay Ingram, Haley Medley, and Austin Knapp are dedicated local citizens and attorneys who are here to help you navigate your legal challenges with compassion. Reach out to the Ingram Law Firm PLLC today at 615-452-6613 or visit ingramlawyers.com.
You're not going fishing till that grass is cut. Dixie Chopper. Speed when you need it.
Visit your local Dixie Chopper dealer today or visit dixiechopper.com.
Score big with your hometown team. Bank Tennessee is proud to be the bank of the Green Wave. We believe in supporting our community and we're dedicated to helping our neighbors succeed. When you bank with us, your deposits help fund local businesses, homeowners, and community projects. Go Green Wave! Bank Tennessee, www.banktennessee.com, in Gallatin at 544 Hartsville Pike, 615-442-7914, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The Green Wave Coaches Show is brought to you by Tennessee Ace Hardware, Bank Tennessee, Delta Dental, Double Dogs, and the Ingram Law Firm here at Prince Street Pizza and Pub in Gallatin. Sumner County Sports Editor Blaine Kellar and Gallatin football coach Michael Stroup getting ready to preview the Wave against Beach for the first time since 2022. Coach, to start, how do you think your players have responded so far coming out of a week-long break? Have they responded well getting back to the field?
Yeah, I think they have. I think we came back on Monday. I gave them the whole week off last week, which was probably the first time I've ever done that. But I felt it was needed for us to get healthy. And, and also to kind of just step away and spend time with family and all that. So we came back on Monday, and, of course, we kind of looked like a team had been off for a week. You know, we don't have professionals out there, but we've got some – the effort was there. You know, it's just the timing and just, offensively it's, I explain to people, offense is kind of like a dance, man. You got to get the steps right and you got to be on the same beat and all that. Defensively, though, I mean, we've had 2 great days defensively, but the kids have come back. They're in the groove. Man, they were hopping to get back out there on the practice field and again, culturally, like I said, when I first got here, we would have practices like Monday. We didn't have school. And it wasn't a student day. It was a professional day. But, before I got here, some of the coaches on staff were like, man, we hardly get kids to come to practice. Well, I mean, we had all our kids there.
On that Monday.
On that Monday,
wow.
And every time we've had practice since I've been here on a day where, they don't have school for students. Kids have been there, but that's part of the culture change as well. But yeah, man, got dove into film on. I think I started on Friday. I think we had set up a film trade and I had to reach out to Coach Crabtree. I think he was fly fishing somewhere in Arkansas, but he responded back. I think we traded on Thursday and just got into film and started studying that and putting a game plan together.
Now, I don't know if this is something that you necessarily do at this level, but Beach has a lot of players that are pretty unique and pretty tough to defend against.
Yep.
Do you as a staff try to have players imitate what some of those standouts do? Do you scout in that way?
Well, I mean, you can't imitate what other people have. I mean, there's no way I can imitate a 240-pound quarterback running it down your face. Yeah. I mean, I could probably, but he's not going to run like him. You don't have you can't imitate a left tackle that is all world, and you can't imitate a young receiver that can, have world class speed out there. We do the best we can with what we have and the school zone that we have and do the best we can do.
What I'm told, best case scenario, is that ETSU running back commitment Shelton Swafford could be back this week from a broken collarbone. I started writing out this question and then I struck it out because I don't think it really changes the game plan whether he's healthy or not, because Beach is going to be able to run the football or going to try to either way.
Sure. I mean, that's what they do. They're going to run the football, and it doesn't matter who they put back there and run it. Everybody they put back there has ran the ball well, and they do a really good job up front. Offensive line-wise, they do a really good job of blocking down, kicking out, and getting after it. So, I think I've seen 4, 44, 36 back there. Yeah, they all do really good jobs.
Yeah, those running backs that took over for Swafford, DK Williams and Devin Crutcher. I think Williams, he ran the ball a little bit last year, maybe provides a little bit more power in that running game, whereas Swafford has a lot of breakaway speed. Is that what you've seen on film with the running backs?
Yeah, I think I think that number 4 is an electric runner. He's speedy, shifty, and 44 is downhill and lowers his shoulders and runs through you. 36 is a little bit of combination of both. And then you got 13 who is a bulldozer and a really good pitcher, really good baseball player from the left side. Got a nice swing, got a little Griffey swing to him. Good glove on him. Pretty good baseball player.
So I've been told, the Kentucky baseball commitment, who has solidified his spot again as Beach's quarterback, the all-time leading passer now at Beach with his season this year. Have you been able to watch him a lot? He came in the same time that you guys did to Sumner County. This being the first time that you will coach against him. Was really looking forward to a matchup of Jackson against Caden, which would have been two of the top passing leaders at Gallatin and Beach against each other. Just curious, have you been able to see him through the years outside of this week?
Oh yeah, I mean you see clips and highlights and stuff like that, and again he's a good football player, and I've even seen him play D-line this year. So I mean he's moving around. He's a versatile player, can play quarterback and defensive tackle. So you don't really see that very much in high school football.
Last year he punted too.
Maybe he fixed helmets for him too. He's a jack of all trades.
Looking at Beach's defense from the start of the year, maybe things have shored up a little bit. I'm not sure if you've looked at multiple games, but across the early parts of the year, particularly talking about this East Nashville game, seemed like the passing attack was kind of leaky against Beach's defense. How have you noticed ways that your offense could attack that this week?
Well, it's all relative. I think they are. I think they're sound on defense. I think they're simple on defense, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I think simple's good. I think you line up and you do the same thing over and over and over, and you get really good at it. And that was when I was a defensive coordinator. That's what I came to learn. When I first started out, I cut my teeth, and I was a defensive-minded guy. I thought I had to do all these exotic things and twist and stunts, different coverages. And I soon found out, man, if you could just line up to play country cover 3 and get really good at it, then the kids know what to do.
That allows them to play faster, too, right? 100%. Is what I always hear.
You ain't got to think, and you ain't got to make all these adjustments and all these checks. So I think in that regard, they're really good at that. Have they given up some stuff in the passing game? Yeah, but East Nashville is a different bird now. I mean,
the Eagles, a different bird. I like it.
Well, I mean, they are. They've got a dynamic quarterback back there. I know their record doesn't show it, but they've played a pretty tough schedule. They're 2A, right?
Yes.
Yeah, 2A team. So I mean, they're out there playing Beach and going toe to toe with them. So I think they'll probably do pretty good in their classification.
Certainly.
But they're, defensively, Beach is really good at the linebacker position. 44-10.
Yeah.
36 is out there at outside linebacker. I think the other one's 25. I know numbers. I don't know names.
Yeah.
I think on the outside you've got 22 who's really fast. Number 18 plays a little corner. 6 is a safety, does a really good job for him. Up front, you got 0 at nose, who's a handful. I mean, you got a bunch of guys out there that really play hard and get after it.
To round out the conversation, you mentioned Jack Fuchs, the tackle for Beach. who's had a pretty wild week, committed to Penn State.
Tough week for old Penn State, isn't it?
I would say so.
Yeah.
And then his dad has been thrust into the offensive line coaching role for the Titans.
Oh, really?
With the departure of Bill Callahan and Brian Callahan.
Oh, did Bill leave too?
Yes, he did.
That's probably the honorable thing to do.
I would say so. So it's been a wild week for him. All of that to say, who's drawing the assignment of going up against him on defense, and how can they win that matchup?
I mean, at the end of the day, it's football. You got to line up and you got to play against the guy in front of you. You can come up with all these schemes you want to and whatnot, but I mean, at the end of the day, you just got to play football. And he's an exceptional offensive lineman and does a really good job. We just we've got to be able, and he's just one guy, right? And so you can't put all your eggs in one basket against one guy because they've got 10 other guys out there, 13 and 4 and 44 and 18. I mean, my Lord, they got a bunch of guys out there that you got to defend. So, we just got to play hard, man. You just got to play hard. And again, Coach Crabtree's been there, 55 years? So, I mean, he's got a culture established, and that's what we're trying to do over at Gallatin. And I think the world of Coach Crabtree. Coach Crabtree came to our facility when I was the AD head coach at USJ and looked at our field when they were beginning the works of putting their field
really?
in. Yeah, and eventually got the same product that we had. So I think the world of those guys over there. They're really good coaches and do a really good job, and that's what we're trying to build towards.
Looking forward to covering this one on Friday. It's Beach and Gallatin at Shackle Island Stadium. We're taking one more break here on the Green Wave Coaches Show. When we come back, one fun question with Coach Michael Stroup. Stay tuned.
At Delta Dental of Tennessee, we know our success begins and ends with providing superior quality service, and that includes serving those who need it most. This year, we're celebrating 25 years of giving back to the community we call home. Delta Dental, along with our Smile 180 Foundation, supports Tennessee's dental colleges and oral health education, children's hospitals, free and reduced cost dental clinics, and other like-minded charities. Here's to the next 25 plus years of ensuring healthy smiles.
When you're looking for the right attorney, it's important to ask questions that address your needs and concerns. Is your attorney local? A local attorney is often more attuned to the specific issues and challenges you may face. Jay Ingram understands the Gallatin, Sumner County, and Middle Tennessee communities well. He's been practicing law here for 25 years. What are their primary areas of practice? The Ingram Law Firm focuses their practice primarily on the areas of criminal defense, domestic relations, civil litigation, juvenile law, and probate. Do they genuinely care about the community? Jay Ingram, his associate attorneys, and legal staff are not only skilled, but they're also deeply invested in their community. Managing partner Jay Ingram is a graduate of Leadership Sumner and has held leadership roles with the Sumner County Bar Association, Gallatin Green Wave Quarterback Club, the Gallatin Lions Club, and he's a graduate of both Leadership Middle Tennessee and the Tennessee Bar Association's Leadership Law statewide program. Why does all of this matter? Finding an attorney who understands, cares about, and is connected to the local community can make a significant difference in your experience and your outcome. Jay Ingram, Haley Medley, and Austin Knapp are dedicated local citizens and attorneys who are here to help you navigate your legal challenges with compassion. Reach out to the Ingram Law Firm PLLC today at 615-452-6613 or visit ingramlawyers.com.
You're not going fishing till that grass is cut.
Dixie Chopper, speed when you need it.
Visit your local Dixie Chopper dealer today or visit dixiechopper.com.
Score big with your hometown team. Bank Tennessee is proud to be the bank of the Green Wave. We believe in supporting our community and we're dedicated to helping our neighbors succeed. When you bank with us, your deposits help fund local businesses, homeowners, and community projects. Go Green Wave! Bank Tennessee, www.banktennessee.com, in Gallatin at 544 Hartsville Pike, 615-442-7914, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
After some explanation of our one fun question here on the Green Wave Coaches Show, I think Michael Stroup agrees with me. If you read our Pick'em column for this week, previewing the Week 9 Sumner County football games, I spent a lot of time over fall break thinking about how Sumner County football coaches align with SEC football coaches. I came up with 5 and said the obvious one was Coach Stroup to Ole Miss coach Lane Kiffin because of the offensive style, the Mississippi ties, and the social media presence. There's no other Sumner County coach that is as active on social media like you. But the Lane train is a high accomplishment, I think, to be compared to, or a great comparison. Do you agree?
Probably now. Probably at one time he probably
yeah,
didn't do
that would have been 10 years ago or so.
I don't know how to take that. Maybe because I tweet at you sometimes.
Yeah.
And I poke at you. I don't know. It's all in good fun. I don't try to cause any stink or anything.
I don't think Lane does either. He's just doing it for fun.
Yeah, and to be. I sometimes coaches text me just to see if I'll just put this out there for them, And
they'll give you prompts to tweet out.
Yeah, they'll say, "Hey, can you tweet this out?" And I ain't got no problem with it. So
I came up with 4 others. Chris Bain, to former now Arkansas coach Sam Pittman, thought a good demeanor overall for both of them. No regard to Pittman's performance on the field. I think Coach Bain's a great coach.
You think Coach Bain after a game says he's going to go get him old beer, cold beer?
That came to mind as I was coming up with this list.
Sorry, Chris.
That phrase did come to mind. But I think they're jolly good country guys.
Yeah.
And
Coach Bain's a good dude.
That's where the tie came in. Good football leaders, I think, overall, too. Clark Lee, to Rock Batten, and to close it out, I had. Why can't I think of this 5th one? Anthony Crabtree and Kirby Smart. Important to note, this was before the timeout clapping incident. I just thought the sustained success of Georgia, how he handles a program.
You think they clap like this at Beach?
I guess we'll see on Friday. Thanks for joining me for another episode of the Green Wave Coaches Show. We'll see you back here next week.